Why? Because in order to open an account, you need to have an ID.
Right.
And I have to say that when I started this job, there were actually very little countries in Africa or Latin America that had one ubiquitous type of ID, and certainly that it was digital, and certainly that it was biometric. And we've really worked with all our partners to actually help that to grow this. And the interesting part of it is that, yes, it is very necessary for financial services, but not only.
Sure.
It's also good for school enrollment. It's also good for health, who actually got a vaccination or not. It's very good to get your subsidies, from the government. So this has not only effect to the financial services. It's a very important issue.
Well, many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin. It's then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says at least 200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how healthy
Didn't look
is
very
that
micro, did it?
No.
It was pretty big.
It was a pretty big chip.
I mean, a paper cut hurts. You're going to put a thing like that, in
what
your
happens if
hand?
you have to change banks? You got to
Right, you got to change it out.
I don't know. I ain't interested in it. Keep it away from me.
I just want to know how it affects your body.
Yeah, it can't be good. It can't be good to put some electronic device in your body and keep it there. Ooh-wee. Good luck with that.
This is Proverbs 26 and 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Shalom, Kahala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yashai, Ba'Shem Ruchal Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to go through a quick one and just cover the mark of the beast, since I haven't talked about it in a couple of days. But as you've seen in the first video, that was the Queen of Netherlands discussing the necessity to have a digital ID. Now, as she said, it's going to be used for everything from banking to schooling to seeing who has faxes and all these things, right? These devils are going to move everything into the digital realm. They're going to digitize everything, right? Assets, contracts, services, all these things are all going to be online now. And for you to interact with it, just like you currently interact with the world that Esau set up, you have to interact with it using your legal personhood, right? This is your name on your, or for example, this would be the legal identity of yourself that you can see on your driver's license. If you were to look at your driver's license or any bank account statement or any bill or anything that you have that's an official service, you're going to notice that your name is in all capitalized letters. Well, that's the thing. This is not your name. That is your person, okay? Your person, it's a legal fiction or it's a legal corporation. And in the past, or currently, in the past, up until currently, this is how we interact with Esau's system. Is we got to use this legal person to open a bank account, make a payment, pay taxes, and all these different things, right, that we have to do with our government ID. Well, as you just heard the Queen of Netherlands say, this is going to be something that's required, a digital ID. And that digital ID is going to be the next step in the personhood identification system. But like what we've seen in the video, the second video about Walletmore, the brothers have already been reporting on Walletmore, showing that they're one of the main companies bringing out these RFID implantable chips, which are the mark of the beast. Well, Walletmore, they want to take this digital ID that the Queen of Netherlands was talking about, and they want to put it in a chip that gets implanted into your hand, right? And what is that? Well, that's this. This is Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That's 666, right? Referring to the physical cardinal Edomites, okay? Now, these Edomites, what they're going to do with this RFID implantable chip is they're going to bring it out very slowly, right? They've been pushing it on society since the 90s, putting it in TV shows, right? You've seen it in movies when people go to like some secured place, they have to get a microchip, right, to enter, right? Now you're starting to see these chips being used in everyday life in other countries, namely over in Sweden, right, where you have people who are doing chipping parties where they're literally, bringing people to get microchipped, and they're basically installing these themselves. Now, those chips that are being installed by themselves, those aren't the mark of the beast, but they're the same technology and system which the mark of the beast is going to use. You see, right now they're just RFID implantable chips, and first of all, it's against the law because you're not supposed to make any cuttings in your flesh, right, or make any markings in your flesh. So that right there goes off the bat. But even if you were to take one of these RFID chips right now, just from, let's say you get it yourself and put it inside you, or if you go to one of these piercing places and you get one of these chips, that itself isn't the mark of the beast. What the mark of the beast is going to be an implantable RFID chip, but something that's going to be issued by Esau's governmental system, right? Not just here in the United States, but all around the world. When the government is out there officially implanting these chips that will hold your ID and your money and all these systems which we use right now to interact with our world, that is the mark of the beast, okay? And right now these devils, they're simply letting people get used to this, right? By showing the chip lady and all these things online, and it's fucking cringy as hell, but they're trying to show people how cool it is and how revolutionary it's gonna be. Like, oh wow, you don't have to carry your keys or your credit cards, like stupid bullshit like that. But the thing is a lot of our people are going to fall for the propaganda, and not only that, but a lot of our people are going to fall for the government mandates, because just like they tried with those snake bites, right? They mandated them. It wasn't a law, it was a mandate. A lot of people fell for it because they don't know any better. They don't know the differences between a law and a mandate. Okay? And the thing is because of that, people are just going to fall right in line with the beast's agenda, which is to be microchipped, and hence they're going to claim your soul. Okay? Because when you get into the implanting or the cutting or making an incision into your body by your master, right? This is an indication that the slave wants to join himself onto the master forever, and that way he could stay there and continue to live with his master and be in that same state. Now this ultimately is what Esau is going to try to do, right? This is why it's more than just physically getting that chip, but it's the spiritual implications behind it, which is what's going to cause you to be damned, all right? This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So, like I said, when the government makes this mandatory, that's when we're going to start seeing a lot of crazy laws come out, right? The whole C-19 hoax was a test run, and we could see all the crazy laws that they brought out, from closing down societies, not letting people go and bury their loved ones, visit their dying in the hospitals or retirement homes, right? They had children fucking playing instruments through cutouts in their paper masks, as if that was gonna help them, right? The thing is that this world is so full of followers that I'm sure all you have heard it, but there's people in this world that do not have an inner monologue. They have no internal thought. Okay, they just do what they're told, and their thoughts come from the outside world. Okay, now yes, they have opinions and everything, but they're not deep. They're not deep thoughts. They're not things that require meditation upon. They're just your everyday Babylonian. And why is this? Well, this is because there's been years of propaganda pushed upon the people, even before Obama, approved propaganda to be used on U.S. citizens. There was still covert propaganda being pushed on the Americans, and also, for the most part, for around everybody around the world. And we know these things like, but the Bible is bad, or God is, make believe, and love is love, and all these type of things that were pushed on the people, right? These are the mental weaponry that Esau is going to use in that day when he makes the mark of the beast mandatory, right? And it's gonna not be like immediately. They're gonna more likely bring it out as an option, just like what they've done right now with the Real ID across all the states in the United States, where they're asking people to get it, when they upgrade their driver's license to get the Real ID and stuff, they're letting people, slowly migrate over to that. And that's what's going to more likely happen with the RFID chip. We're going to see a slow, progressive rollout. And right now, it's the first stage of it, where the people themselves start to adopt it. And then pretty soon, you're going to see people who have RFID implantable chips start to request support or services for their chips. Right? They're going to want to be able to take their credit cards and implant the number or insert the number into their chip, so they don't have to carry a card. You're going to see people demand that their IDs be digital compatible, right? This is why, was it last year that Apple came out with a digital ID conversion, where you could take your California or your government ID, scan it into the Apple phone, and then Apple would, they would apply an SSL certificate to it to make it look legitimate, and it then can be used as a legit ID or governmental ID. See, these are the things that these devils are going to do. They're going to bring this out, roll it out slowly, little by little, okay? And what they're going to eventually do is they're going to decree unrighteous decrees. And it's going to be up to you to decide, where does your faith and fear lie more? Are you more afraid of Esau than the Lord? And do you have more faith in Esau, or do you have more faith in the Lord? Right? Because what we're going to have to do, Akim, when that comes out, is you're going to have to just resist, ignore, do not comply, right? And then ultimately just trust in the Lord that He's going to get us through this. This is Job 20:27. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Verse 28. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed unto him by God. So you see, though these Edomites, which when I say Edomites, I'm talking about the so-called Caucasian race, because that's their biblical identity. They've been permitted to gain everything that they have now, from all the continents that they rule over, to the militaries that they command, to the power that they have over all the people in the world. Their riches, their houses, You know, everything, their legacy, well, which is gonna, for the most part, be all burnt up. All these things these Edomites have been permitted to do by the Lord because of their forefather Esau, who was given a spiritual blessing from our forefather Isaac, right? That Esau would live off the fatness of the earth, and that he would rule, he would live by his sword, right? And that's ultimately what these devils have done. They are now the last nation on the face of the earth to be in rulership before the true world order is established, when the second coming of the Messiah happens, and he ultimately takes down all these other nations of the world and stays and rules upon the face of the earth along with the Israelites. This is the legacy that these Edomites are ultimately going to have, is that they are going to be the last empire to be in rulership, and that they had the world in subjection under wickedness, and that they ultimately tried to microchip the entire population to gain back their blessing. But that ain't going to happen, as we just read, right? The heavens shall reveal his iniquity. What does that mean? That's talking about like the satellites, all this information, the videos that you're literally watching right now, and that the apostles and the elders and the brothers make, right? Revealing these Edomites for what they've done. And we've done it so much so now that now even Christians are mimicking a lot of the teachings of the Hebrew Israelites, because this is the truth, and they know it's the truth, but they try to take it and spin it. But the point being is that these Edomites, you know, they're still marching forward to bring forward their RFID microchip implants, but ultimately that's going to fail, because these devils, they're prophesied to not succeed, but to ultimately be destroyed in their futile attempts to take over the world and regain back their birthright. So either way, Akim, I just wanted to share these clips, thought they were interesting. Until the next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kodesh. Shalom.